sleepover where we talk all the hot topics. Got my girls, we racking up on all knowledge. Relationships, love and fitness, battle of the sexes, and so much more. The sleepover where we talk all the hot topics. Got my girls, we racking up on all knowledge. So hop on a ride, take a seat, because you're in for a big treat. Welcome to the sleepover, yeah. Welcome to the sleepover. Ooh, welcome to the sleepover. Ooh, welcome to the.
Hey and welcome. We're going to be discussing relationships, gender roles, and all things Black love. I'm your host, Charlotte Marie, and we're going to get real and chill with the sleepover. So when I think about Black love in relationships, the quote that comes to me the most is Malcolm X's quote, "The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman." Now, do we think this still applies to our generation, into our experiences, or do we think now we've moved past this?
I think most definitely it still applies to our generation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we go through so much as Black women, not only just from our own race, but from other races as well. Like, I feel like somebody else would be more appreciated. I don't want to say name a race specifically, but white women in particularly. You know, if they get pulled over or something happens, they're going to be catered to more than we are.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
You know?
I agree. I feel like when people deal with Black women, they're so aggressive with us. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like we're not human.
Yeah.
As far as when you talk about like being pulled over by the police. Like, I had an experience like that, and I could literally remember like just sweating and being so scared just in that moment. And it's just like, that's ridiculous. White women don't go through that.
Yeah.
Period.
I remember I was in a class, and they started calling off all of the Black women who had been murdered by police, and I knew 2 of them, right? So to think about what is promoted in the media versus what is not was even just more of an indication of how much we are held of value in this country.
Yeah, I think as a Black man, a lot of the times we don't sit back and look at how the queens around us are affected by everything that's going on. You know, how a lot of the single family homes are not single fathers, but they are single mothers. And if they have those, you know, those Black sons or those Black daughters who are in those cars and who are getting killed and how they're affected as well. And a lot of the times we don't sit back and look at that. We're worried about us, but then, you know, as the women, as the nurturers of the group in the universe, y'all are worrying about us as well. And we, as a group, never learn how to reciprocate that. And so I think that's important to like in you know, the future generations, teaching them that. And like, you know, I learned it from my mom, and you know, she taught me how to, you know, really respect Black women and respect women in general, but you know, she was all about, she like, you know what I'm saying? You know, but seriously, like she taught me how to do that, and she showed me the way, and which led to me learning how to do it and starting to understand the mind. And I still don't fully understand it, so you know, I give kudos to y'all for being there for us, and I really appreciate that.
I think we can all get with that.
We don't hear it enough. We don't hear it enough.
Right.
Oh. Hey, so, man, my upbringing was a single family home, and my mom she was a superwoman. So she did more things than, I mean, she probably did some stuff behind the scenes that I probably still don't know about. It made things happen for me. It made things happen for my younger brother and just our family. You know, she was the first woman I ever seen, like, you know, really get under the hood of a car. You know, fix her own car, because she don't want to take it to somebody who constantly telling her to bring it back, and she knows it's a scam. She knows what's going on. Like, it ain't that, it's this. You know what I'm saying? And she know, like, you can't talk my mom out of nothing. Like, she gonna get to the bottom of it, the nitty gritty. And yeah, man, just having her in my corner, just, you know, helping me with my perception of Black women in America for real, and how things, like how the altercations that she went through and how, you know, she handled it. You know, it kind of helped me handle my own situations.
So to follow up with that, right, I think there's been a lot of debate over who supports who more. And I think this is going to be a tricky question to really dive into. But do Black men support Black women more? Or are y'all feeling that Black women support the black men more.
Absolutely.
And our
I
community-
Black women support black men way more.
Cimone, elaborate.
I just feel like when not all black men, let me be clear.
Okay.
But what I'm seeing a lot of in terms of a generality is just I always feel compared. I don't feel like I'm just can I be here? If you like me, like if you want to date me, if you want to be my friend, can I just be here? It's a comparison. Yeah. If I'm not compared to Kim Kardashian, I'm compared to Doja Cat. If I'm not compared, can I be Cimone? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe subconsciously they don't understand what that does to us as black women.
Yeah.
It's not even about an insecurity or anything like that. What does that do to us just as human beings? Always feeling compared. We just mentioned it. We're compared when we get pulled over. We're compared to other. It's like, when can we just be?
Yeah. I would like to pull you in on this conversation because I remember you told me about an incident with someone you were dating before.
So, she just put me on the spot. In college, I dated with this one guy throughout college, and randomly I was just getting ready for school. I think I was getting ready for one of my classes, and we weren't having an argument, nothing. He just randomly said, I would rather date a foreign woman. So it threw me off because I didn't know where it came from, but he said it. And at that time, I was still dealing with just understanding myself. When you go through college, you are going through the motions of understanding who you are and going through all of the things that comes with it. But it did make me feel like less than at the moment because I didn't know where it came from and I wasn't expecting it. So I did have an experience where the guy I was dating for going on 6 years just randomly, just said that. So yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, honestly, for me, personally, my view on that, I think that honestly, it's been embedded in us. The black woman is the backbone of a lot of things. So I think that honestly, it's more so black women supporting black men, only because we grew up with a mom or the grandma being the backbone and the glue that keeps the family together. So that's, in my opinion, I feel like the black woman.
We never look at our men as less than though.
Never.
Never oh, I should have dated this or I should have dated this.
It's just not embedded in
It
us
would never
at all.
be that.
It doesn't even come to mind.
I thought about it. I was like,
I'm over there I do that sometimes.
and then I was like, nah, I can't do it. But it's not in an instance where you thought it was going to be better for you. You know what I mean?
not at all.
It was just like, oh, well, I could be open to this.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It's not in a comparison manner. I feel like sometimes it's intentionally. It's just well, you don't. It's what don't I?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to support, right, it depends on. So as men, we are taught that we need to become the providers and become the supporters of the family.
But y'all don't want to support us.
Right. So
Let me be real.
So here's the thing. I think
But
that
I think that
we're
only comes with a mental standpoint.
yeah. So I think that we're taught to support y'all on certain levels, right?
Yeah.
So we're not taught to support y'all on a mental level.
Right.
We're not taught to support y'all on an emotional level. We're taught to support y'all financially.
Financially.
That's what we're working on.
So you don't know what you weren't taught.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
don't
you're saying.
know
Okay.
what I don't know,
Right.
right? So my whole existence is about getting to a level where I can support someone financially, right? I get the job, I get the status, I can take you places, I can do things for you. You don't have a worry in the world, but your mental already fucked. I'm sorry. Your mental, your mental's already messed up. You know what I'm saying? By that time, because you done dealt with me through level 1, 2, 3 until I got to level 10. Now I'm at level 10, and I done messed you up so much that now you don't trust me because I done did stupid shit like cheated. You don't believe in me because I done messed up so many times. I done been at this lower level. So by that time, you become we now don't even like each other.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I need to date somebody completely different. So I agree that women definitely support men, but I go back to that mindset thing because I think that as I'm growing, as I'm thinking about even my life and my dating, like as I was working, I had like multiple girls that I dated and dealt with, and they all supported me in different things. I mean, showed up for me, did things for me, and like when I think about that, I'm like, where are they now? You know what I mean? I'm like, I done did so much crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so when it comes to that, I really believe that y'all really like y'all support us the most, and that we don't recognize that as we're coming up.
I have a question for you. Is there any moment that you regret with a particular woman? In which you're like, yeah, I definitely undervalued her.
All the time. I mean,
Is there one that
listen,
stands out?
listen. Okay, all right. So let me just be honest. You're chilling.
Yeah.
Yo, it is there are women who have looked out for me in more ways than like y'all. I mean, they have looked out for me financially. They have looked out for me mentally. They have been my shrinks and my guidance counselors and been my tutors in school and like just everything. And I was just focused on me. And it's not that I still love them as people, right? Because I don't really have any bad, like terrible blood with anybody. It's because I think I'm an overall good person. But like overall. but like I do regret how I treated some of the situations. I didn't recognize it. So I didn't respect what they were doing for me. I was focused on me. I was focused on the things that I had going on, and I was trying to make it to the next level so that I could become the man that I know I should be, that I know I can be. And now, I'm still not there yet. But now that I'm at a,
You're growing.
Yeah, I'm growing, and I'm at a stage where I can. It's like, damn, like man, I should have respected her a lot more. I should have took her on more dates. I should have tried a little bit more.
And I love that because this is all about let's get naked, right?
Right.
So I'm hoping we can expose what is something you would tell a young brother watching this, like, don't do this. Or I did this not knowing the harm that it could cause, and it caused a whole hell of a lot.
Right. So first and foremost, if you're not where you want to be, stop dating.
Thank you. Say
I
it one more
agree.
time. Just one more time.
If you are not where you want to be, stop dating.
But I have to object. When you say if you're not where you want to be, what do you mean? Because I feel like it's a marathon. Like we always continue to, grow and evolve. So what do you mean?
Okay, all right. So I say the basics, right? Mm-hmm. There are certain things that you have to realize that, like, as a man, you should be like. It's not about necessarily paying the bills and being that person. If you're in college, you're not worried about paying the bills. But if you can't go to McDonald's and buy 2 McChickens, you know what I'm saying? If you can't take her out, if you breaking up with girls because it's about to be Valentine's Day or Christmas, you know what I'm saying?
He's saying if you don't have the basics, like don't date.
Get there first.
It's necessities that you need as a man. Like, you don't have to have a car, you don't have to have a job, you don't have to have X, Y, and Z, but you need to have some type of, like, mental stability. You need to be emotionally stable, at least, to be dating somebody else who probably already is.
So do you all feel that your value is based off of how much you can provide for women?
Not me.
Okay.
Shit. So I'm I was raised really, really, really old school. Like really, really, really Southern, and like it was just like, to me, it's like, look, if you can't take care and maintain and build a happy home, then you don't like what are you doing? Like what are you really doing? Like if you're not out here, if you can't, like, it's not about actually doing it, but if you can't do it, like if you're choosing not to, that's one thing.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like if you choosing not to, that's one thing. But if you can't, like, bro, you out here, you 32.
But where's the cap?
right? Because there becomes a certain point where it's like, okay, I understand you're trying to better yourself. You want to be able to provide and do all that, right? But how? Where's the cap? Where does it end? Because forever you gonna tell me like, oh, well, I'm still trying to build.
I got it together.
You know what I mean? Like, we can build together, right? There's an empire.
You gotta hit a low point in life and really sit back and realize, like, look, man, tomorrow I'm not gonna have $1 million. Tomorrow I'm not gonna be able to get that jet. Tomorrow I'm not gonna be able to, take over London or take my wife or whoever to Milan. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen. That's not real life. That's fantasy. And I think with a lot of stuff with men are like, it's bright fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's saying, provide and do all this, do all that.
Yeah.
That we gotta put a stop to it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna mess us up mentally in the long run. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna miss out.
Say it louder.
And you gonna miss out on the good one, and you gonna talk yourself out of the box. Like that's.
So what I hear is like, Fresco, you had this moment where you're like, okay, I have to like reassess all of these things.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
and when was that moment for you? How old were you? What was going on?
That's a good question.
Man,
Let me just back up a little.
man, I think I hit a low point. Shoot, I'll say 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5-6 years ago, I hit a low point, and
What's
I had to
a
really.
low point?
What's a low point?
Yeah.
A low point to me was I'm probably about to lose everything, or I felt like I already lost everything.
Yeah.
Like whatever I did today, it's gone.
Okay.
Like I lost it. Ain't no getting it back. Nothing. That was my mind. Like I really thought I lost everything.
Okay.
But I'm very optimistic. So I was like, all right, cool. So this is what I'm finna do. I had to come up with a plan. I had to write it down. I had to, you know what I'm saying, really focus. You had to really sit back and focus. Or I had to sit back and focus and really think about what I wanted. I had to think about what I wanted to get to where I need to be, to get to where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Really start thinking about those things like for real. Like it was a reality check.
Yeah, because y'all are the married couple in the group. So, Meleeze, 5 years ago, do you think you noticed this time in Fresco's life?
We've always had a really close relationship. So noticing when his turnover was, I probably didn't notice, right? Because it still wasn't happening fast enough for me, to be real. And it was a thing about like
True.
it was just a thing like, I didn't want to add that pressure, you know what I mean? Because our relationship has been really positive. It was always on the up and up. But, as a woman, we just be like, where's this going? Like, I'm wifey material, honey.
Right.
And, I feel like you weren't trying to get there with me. So it was some frustration within those 5 years, and, I think almost, to be honest, like, I was almost at a point where I was like, well, I just, I'm getting older. I don't know if he's really for real about me, and then we just, I don't know, somewhere in the midst of that 5 years, we just connected again. And then
It was meant to
next
be.
and then next thing you know, honey, I got the ring.
Do a blink cam,
But definitely being patient. It's hard to be patient, and we always feel like our men are downing us at some point or we're not good enough. But connection, being patient is always key for real. So
Yeah, I think, I was in a relationship for 4.5 years during y'all's 9 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And unlike y'all's relationship, we weren't able to come through that hurdle. And I often left feeling like your mother, your best friend, your blessed baby, like everything. And I had to take on every single role, and I never felt appreciated for it. And in the end, developed resentment on him because I'm a black woman and my growth doesn't stop for anyone.
Okay.
This fire that's in me was bred in me, right? It's not going anywhere. And so while you are working your stuff out as a black man, for him it was difficult to support my growth as a black woman. And put me in a really dangerous situation, right? And I'm sure I'm not the only black woman who goes through this, but what could we tell black women who are in relationships like this to help them move forward
Focus on
striving.
yourself.
Yeah.
Keep striving, honey, because the right one will come along and he ain't gonna want to knock your power down. That's for real.
Yeah.
I was saying, just focus on yourself, worry about yourself, and then they always eventually come back.
And you don't want them no more.
You don't
I'm
want
like,
them.
no
Honestly,
answer. Okay.
I think for me, I would just say like, it's okay to be selfish.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to put yourself first.
Yeah.
Like I think that we like oftentimes forget that it's okay to put ourselves first.
Yeah.
Even if it just means like we cut everyone else out. So I would honestly just say like put yourself first.
I agree. Don't play yourself down.
Yeah.
Period.
So have we as black women, or you all as black men, ever said black women are too difficult?
Nah, hell no.
Okay.
Don't lie.
No.
Yeah, don't
I-
lie. Really think about it.
Right, think about it.
I've said different things.
What have you said?
Like what? We want to hear.
That's a big one. Crazy,
I get
extra,
crazy.
too much, all that stuff.
Crazy has different meanings.
Yeah,
It's different meanings and
No,
it's
I
different
said
levels.
it.
Every time somebody is getting called crazy is not the same.
What
Yeah.
type of crazy though? When you think of crazy for a black woman, what are you thinking?
The action that happened. There's actions that happen.
I was there when that happened before.
Yeah.
There's actions that happen.
But I mean, honestly, is it really considered crazy if it's just a response in what you did?
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes.
So if it's in a response to what I did, no.
Yeah.
If it's not though,
Right.
But then
You say no, you say no, but still get called crazy.
But then at the same time,
After you do the
but then
action.
at the same time, it's just like in that moment, you guys don't feel like that you did anything wrong. So
Okay.
then we get painted out to be like the crazy person, and we decide to go destroy something,
Then we're
or
the
jump
problem.
through, or like you said, jump through a window or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know about
It
other girls, but me personally, I have been labeled as crazy a couple of times.
Yeah.
Me
But
too.
that's only
You're
because
not
it
wrong.
was only in a response to something a man did to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like outside of that though, like you hear about black women being crazy.
Yeah.
Why don't y'all say white women are crazy? Outside of
'Cause they're
race,
crazy too.
but no. But here's my thing though. But this is my thing though. Outside of race, everyone can do something crazy. So stop using us as the poster child for like, oh, she smashes stuff. You know how many crazy trailer trash?
And
now
why?
Now listen. I'm sorry. Let me bring it back. But I'm just saying, do you know how many people of other races I've heard of girls busting up tires, slashing it? So stop saying it's just us.
Yeah.
When people are in heavy, deep relationships and somebody hurts your feelings,
Right.
that's everybody.
I think we should stop using the word crazy only because I feel like that word is so thrown around so easily. When honestly and truthfully, instead of us saying crazy, how about we just say hurt? Because honestly and truthfully, like for me personally, I have been labeled as crazy a couple of times.
Okay, me too.
But it was only in response to me just being very, very hurt because of something someone else did to me. And I just felt like in that moment I wanted to get even. But then you're looking at it as being crazy, but I'm looking at it as, oh, I'm really hurt and I just want you to feel what I feel.
Yeah.
Right,
Can
so-
I add to that too? I think as black women, we have to fight a lot. And it is expected that we fight for everyone.
Yeah.
But then when we fight for ourselves, it's labeled as aggressive,
Too much.
crazy, too much, extra, too difficult.
Yeah.
So it's kind of difficult to find our ways where we can just be us.
Can we be?
So I think that the term crazy can be used, you know, in a lot of ways, and I think that it's a lot of words that can, you know, cross over to crazy, right? So it hurt is one of them. Like you crazy, like you're hurt, so you do something that's kind of out of character.
Yeah.
You're inquisitive, right? So it's something that you don't know. You know, and like with the whole jumping in my window situation, I was dating a girl and like me and her had got into an argument, right? So instead of going back and forth with her, because I was at the mode where I was seeing red, so I'm like, when I do that, I need to take a step back, and because I don't like argue, I don't argue with women, you know what I mean? Like you know, and personally I'm a fighter. Like, I mean, when it comes to guys. So, like, I'm not going here with you. I can't fight you. I'm not going to put my hands on you. So, I'm going to just step back and be quiet and relax and get my peace real quick, and then I'll come back to the conversation. That's just how I do things. Now, I didn't know that when when I stopped responding to her, she had sent me a text that said, "I'm on the way to your house." Right? And then,
communication is
anybody there when he jumped through the window with the follow-up question. I didn't know.
That's the thing. So I got ghosts, right? But I had just literally, honestly, I just went to the living room and just to relax. I poured her a cup of wine, you know what I'm saying? I'm kicking. Next thing you know, this girl coming through the back. She coming through my room like, I'm like, my front door right here. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, and honestly,
sometimes you know.
And honestly, that's a situation where like
a couple of
she might have thought I was doing something. Or, you know,
She was trying to catch you.
Yeah, she was trying to, cause she could have knocked on the door. You know what I mean?
She could have, but let me tell you, when you ghosted her, did you say, "Hey, babe, let me"?
No.
And that, I'm sorry, brother, but I gotta tell you, that was the issue. For me personally, I'm not gonna speak for everybody. For me, that communication is what's always missing in our dynamics.
Right.
If you could just tell me that you need space, you ain't gonna give me
Well,
time to do your
honestly
way.
and truthfully, like for me personally, when I'm in that situation, I don't even care if you tell me that you need space. It's not giving space. It's because I'm at that point. I'm really just upset. Like it's not giving space. Like honestly and truthfully, I think that we have to acknowledge that. Like in the moment that we're mad, it's really nothing that someone can say or do that could really just like take away that feeling because we're going to continue to feel that way.
Yeah.
And honestly and truthfully, like I never understood how a man could say that we're crazy when if you're out here and you go and cheat on somebody or you just do all of this stuff. Okay, so if we're crazy because of how we respond to your actions, then what are you? Like, what do we consider your actions? Because honestly and truthfully, in my mind, I think that you going out here doing X, Y, and Z is crazy.
That's manipulation.
Yeah.
So that's manipulative. If like so in that situation, right? I hadn't done anything wrong. We got into an argument about something. I was trying to take a step back. She could have knocked on my door. She could have climbed through. And even when she did, like that's what she needed to go through to find peace again. I respect that. Okay, cool. You here now? Pour a glass of wine. Let's sit down.
It doesn't really happen that way, though.
It really happened that way.
I'm gonna be like it does.
Can we acknowledge that your communication was off?
I think it depends on like the situation and who you're dealing with.
Yeah, and I really liked her. I really rocked with her. So it was like, yo, you don't even, like, you here now.
I'm gonna be real, you guys.
You can't relate.
No.
I'm not. You married.
She's a different breed, y'all.
Even before both of us, like I'm not doing that.
You mean like climbing the windows?
I
don't do that either.
No. I do.
It's a door.
I do.
Not even
I
climbing
do.
through the windows.
Yeah.
I'm just not a
I'm
real
not
high
popping
person.
up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how I take it is I internalize it, I think about it, and move forward.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have a conversation with you. It's gonna be honest, and I'm gonna lay it all out.
I agree.
But I'm not the one to get all loud and pop off and do all this extra stuff.
You don't show
I
yourself.
don't got time for it.
And you don't show yourself.
Yeah. And then
No.
what happens?
But I will say, how do you like handle that type of situation though? Because I mean, like you can just let it happen and go move forward. But like if it constantly happens, like is that
It's
just
a
how
choice.
life is?
No, it's a choice. Either you gonna work through it and you gonna talk about it, or you walk away. Because if it keeps happening and you feel like it's gonna keep happening, like let's say, okay, I cheated, woo doo woo woo, I'm sorry, right? Okay, I forgive you this time. But if you're the cheater, you gotta realize, okay, I really care about this person and I don't want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's best for you to just say, look, maybe we can come back at another time.
Right now.
Right?
Well,
And if y'all are not communicating, that piece is not going to happen. Because I
Yeah.
feel like when you jumping through a
You're
window,
right.
you
You're right.
miss a step of saying, hey, I need space. She missed a step of saying, hey, this is making me feel a type of way. Like when you skip those steps.
But that's the beginning of the relationship. Y'all need to establish the communication.
Exactly.
And that's so
Exactly.
real. You just need to establish that.
Well, for me, honestly, no, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm the person that feels like that if I show my ass, then you're gonna know that I'm not playing because clearly you didn't get it when I was being nice. If I was being nice and you take advantage of that, then I'm gonna feel like you didn't respect me.
It's what you allow.
And that too.
What you allow.
Honestly, I do feel like it is what you allow, but sometimes like you do try to take the high road. But it's like some men don't get that. Like they don't get it.
Can I share this? So I've been the crazy, and I don't like to use that word, right? But I've been maybe the erratic, hurt one. I've also been the one who was the victim, just sitting there while the girl burst through the curtain. And I'm gonna be honest, neither situation situation came out, I communicated very well and effectively in that moment. Did it change the outcome of this situation? No. I've been the erratic one. Did it change the outcome of the situation? Absolutely not. So I feel like at times this is where we get back to the respect of black women, to me. And it's like, why do you continue to feel this way, right? But then fantasize over people with lighter skin, longer hair, accents, whites, right? So that's where I start to question what's going on.
Good enough?
Am I not good enough?
Yeah.
Is my education actually a negative part about me?
Or what it
Is it my beauty that turns you off? Is it the fact that I can speak well, stand with my head held high, that intimidates you?
Like, okay, cool. White girls suck dick better. I would say most of the women, a lot of the women that I dated were like light skinned, like light.
I ain't gonna lie, I remember that.
I know.
I think that a lot of times men look at women as a piece of meat. Being light is beautiful, more beautiful than like darker.
He was just saying, I'm sitting right there, and I call him my brother, and he's just like, I just can't see myself with a dark-skinned girl. I just can't see it.
I'm not fetishing over what's what. I just like what I like. You know what I'm saying? If it just happened to be, I like this white girl and this particular white girl, I just like that white girl.
Now me, I was just like, you know what? Like you say that, but once you give me that booty,
Right.
Dark skin don't get no love.
So, Jamaica, you don't even know what you're doing right here.
You're beautiful, you're beautiful. She look like she came straight out of Africa. Like,
Yeah.
that hurts my
That's
feelings.
Yeah.
Welcome to the sleepover. Ooh, welcome to the sleepover. Ooh, welcome to the sleepover. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the sleepover. Ooh, welcome to the